If you go to US and then you did something or someone did something bad against you, which law are you going to be judged with? Is it Nigerian constitution or the constitution of US? Will you now tell them that you don't agree with that? You are living in their town. You have fulfilled the condition of the visa before you applied. When you applied for visa, it means you are going to abide by whatever they have stated in their country. As if this is wrong in America and it's right in Nigeria, if you do it in America, it's wrong. And you won't say that in Nigeria it is right. That is why they are living in an Islamic state. That is the option. This is ijma. There is nothing wrong. I just gave you an example that is clear now. You are still shocked. Will you seek for another option in US if they judge you by the US Constitution if you are living there? Is it possible? No, I want you to answer. Is it possible? It's not possible now. So, see, these things, there are practical examples. Islam says the one that leaves the religion, alaysa kadhalik, the one that did ridda and then leaves the jama'ah of the Muslims, is one of the people that should be killed, alaysa kadhalik. And people are saying, why? Why is it that if someone leaves, the soldier of your country, he leaves and joins the other army in the battlefield and runs away from you, if they catch them, what do they do with them? They kill them now. If a soldier from Russia runs to US, if Russia arrests him, what do? They kill him. It's the international law. But when it comes to Islam, people will be saying, why? Why is it like that? But in the practice of the international law, every day you see people doing that. But whenever it comes to the laws of Allah, people are surprised. You can't go to someone's house and then you dictate to him how to do. That is why they have the option. It's ijma now between him and a Muslim. So you want Islam to be under another law? Now, as a Muslim, you have the option of Quran judging between you and someone. And then you have the option of constitution that is full of errors. And then as a Muslim, you say no. Because the Christians say he doesn't agree with Quran. You will now be the one to agree with his constitution. It's living in the Islamic state. Remember, Islamic state. When you have agreed to live in someone's environment, you abide by his laws. If you don't agree with the laws, leave. They were living in Mecca. The Mecca people say, we don't agree with what you are preaching. Allah said, leave Mecca for them, go to Medina. It's as simple as ABCD. And because the laws of Allah are supreme, that is why if it is between a Muslim and we have a general rule. Al-Islam ya'lu wa la yu'la alayh. Islam does not overpower. Islam cannot be overpowered. And that is why a Muslim woman is haram for her to marry a Christian or a Jew. But a Muslim man is allowed to marry a Christian and a Jew. Why? It's the same reason now. The Muslim man is the man of the house. Everywhere, marriage, the man of the house. The father, the husband is the one that is charged with the responsibility of the household. Which means is the one that is in control of the household. The woman that is a Christian or a Jew, she is under the rulership and the leadership of the Muslim husband. But if the reverse is the case, the Muslim woman now marries a Christian or a Jew, which means Islam is now under Judaism and Christianity. That is why it is haram. These things are very simple. You can't go to them and give them yours if you are living in their societies. They say don't wear hijab because you have come to my country. Will you now say that I'm a Muslim, I'm in your country, I must wear? They say it's our law. If you don't want, that is why in UK they tell you, you say they are teaching children homosexuality, LGBT. If you don't like, take your children back to Africa. But as long as you are living in our land, whether you agree or not, this is our rule. It's the same thing as long as you are living in the Muslim society. And then compare Islamic Shari'a with that. Is there any basis for comparison? They will never get justice beyond what they will get in Islam. And that is why Allah revealed verses of the Quran. I've forgotten the verses now. Clearing a Jew that was wrongfully accused in Medina. Clearing a Jew. Is that not justice? That is justice. The reason why I'm very stand on this is because yesterday The Muslim Lawyers Association invited me. They had their iftar and award night yesterday. And then we had, with Professor Abikon, we had a panel discussion with respect to this Sharia panel in the Southwestern Nigeria. That's why it's still fresh, and then it's very painful. You know, you have been ruled. The Muslims are majority in Lagos. The Muslims are even majority in the Southwest. Before colonial masters came to Yoruba land, there was no Christianity. There was no Christianity. The high courts and the courts that you have today, they are Christian laws. But you are compelled. So if the Muslims say privately we want to organize our own, who are you to deny them? You are forcing them to do that. And that is why in the north they already had their own Sharia court of appeal, Sharia, this and that. So this is very, very critical. You know what they did to the, I'm sorry to say, what they did to the Yorubas in the Southwestern Nigeria, that is, it's a wake-up call for the Yorubas. At a time, as the professor was saying yesterday, at a time, you will not be given admission to study Western education if you are not a Christian. So you have Muslims changing their names to Christian names, and that is why today in Yoruba land, hardly you find a family there is not a Christian there. Is that something to be proud of? It's a defeat. It's a defeat. And hardly you find highly placed Yorubas without a Christian wife. And then in the house they say, you know, we are very liberal. It's not liberalism. And part of the history, as the professor said yesterday, because mostly the Islam came to them, and then because coupled with the Yoruba culture of entertainment and this thing, what they it came to them, as one of the historians said, leisurely. So they see it as something of leisure. That is why there is that freedom. And then I can go to church. You see Muslims going to church, not wearing cap with their babariga, just to show that we are together on Christmas. And then this, that is haram. But it's something that has happened over a century. So generation after generation, you have been brought up in an environment where you felt these things are normal, but they are not normal. It's a defeat. So today, and then at a time again, for you to look sophisticated also because of the favor. Because of the favor. Like the Western education, like other favors, appointments and other things. So some were forced to be marrying into Christian families. So that you have that leverage. And then what happens at the end of the day? The reason why you have been asked to marry a Christian or a Jew is so that you can have that ability to even showcase Islam, and then they embrace Islam. But where you have a situation where at the end of the day your children are not professing Islam, is that love? You know that without Islam you not enter Jannah, and then you allow your children like that? And then you die, and then she says, okay, pack your things and let's go. No, we have to. It's this new generation, you should start thinking about it. Up to date, Lagos has more Muslims, right? Up to date. But you are talking in 2000 when Nasfat, Mulan, Nakomium, this the Congress, Islamic Congress, IC, when all of them gathered and then they were pushing for the Sharia panel, not Sharia law, after the declaration of Sharia in Zamfara, they pushed it. In Yoruba, they started in Ibadan, they had their meeting, they came to Lagos, they did this since 2000. And these Sharia panels have been existing in Yoruba land, in these 4 major states there. And then today, what are you having? And then in order to show something, and then you see, I'm sorry to say, it's not a tribe. I know majority of people here are Yorubas, you know, it's not at the risk of sounding tribalistic. You see that they will go on social media and feeling that, you know, we are the most tolerant Muslims, we go to church, no, wallahi, that is not Islam. You have to stand. قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. Truth stands out clearly from falsehood. If there is anything for you to do, is to showcase the beauty of Islam so that they can see the beauty of Islam and embrace Islam. Be a true Muslim, and the Yoruba Christians, they will embrace Islam. The traditionalists will embrace Islam. You first be a true Muslim.